With this story, there have been a lot of YouTubers out there talking about this, and I thank them, and I'm glad that this story is important to so many people out there, that this story is being spread. My only pause with this is that I really wish that every story that involved children were talked about like this, the word was spread like this, and that we can all, as a community and as a society, participate. Okay, with this story, ladies and gentlemen, comes out of Savannah, Georgia, with this missing child. And with this missing child, there might be some devastating news that might be coming out. So before I give you guys the details of that, I need to let you know that some of you might find my content controversial or offensive. My information is coming from credible sources. This video commentary also contains my personal opinion about the facts of this story. The point is to use this as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies to children like this going forward. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer, so you can't act like you didn't know. Here's the thing. The baby that you guys see on my screen, beautiful little baby. And I think all babies are beautiful. Hashtag all babies are beautiful, especially this baby here. And I just can't imagine why somebody would hate this child enough to put them in this situation, whether it be neglect or on purpose. I'm going to say that again. Whether it be neglect or whether it be on purpose, I don't know that. So I'm going to speak on some of the facts, and then I might speculate a little bit. But his mom, guess what? For those who might not have caught this from any other source, is now a prime suspect. Matter of fact, mom, according to the police, is the only suspect in this story, okay? I'm getting this information from news4jax.com. Thank you for the article. But police have spent more than a week searching for the toddler who was reported missing from his home and have gathered enough evidence to conclude that the boy is dead and name his mother as the suspect in his death and disappearance, the police chief say on Thursday. Hope everybody catches that. Authorities are still searching for his body, and his name is Quinton Simon, who is 20 months old. That's the baby right there. Beautiful baby. Chatham County Police Chief Jeff Hadley said in a news conference, police considered the boy's mother by the name of Leilani Simon, which is spelled L-E-I-L-A-N-I, Simon, S-I-M-O-N. They name her as a suspect, but Hadley said that she has not been charged as of Thursday. Here's what almost makes me want to curse and get really upset real quick. Y'all ready for this? Who else is the freaking suspect? If she is the only and sole suspect, why can't you bring charges against her? Why is she roaming around free with an opportunity to either hide evidence or maybe even do something to harm herself, therefore she can face a coward's justice and in her own life? That I just simply don't understand. But like I say, with this legal system, it's really crazy because, of course, we want them to have swift justice. We want them to be apprehended. But at the same time, we don't want them to be arrested and charged improperly either. So I hope y'all catch that. Now, the toddler's mother called 911 on the morning of October the 5th, this was only a few days ago, to report him missing, saying that she had last seen her son inside his playpen. Police and volunteers quickly fanned out across the neighborhood just outside of Savannah to look for the child, who was described as last seen wearing a Sesame Street t-shirt and black pants. In the days that followed, police obtained a search warrant to the child's to search the child's home with the assistance from FBI agents. They drained a swimming pool in the backyard and used search dogs to comb the woods near the house. Hadley declined to specify what led police to say that the boy is dead. That scares me because they are actually almost saying that they know this definitively. For them to put out a statement like that, because normally they wouldn't. What I can say is that the evidence we have so far, based on multiple search warrants and interviews, has led us to the conclusion that Quinton is deceased, according to the chief. He also wouldn't say why police suspect the boy's mother, though he said that she is currently the only suspect. As why police named her as a suspect but hadn't charged her, Hadley said, "We will only do that when we feel we have everything that we need." It wasn't immediately known Thursday if Simon had a lawyer who could speak on her behalf. Now, police and court documents show that there was turmoil, and this is where I hope everybody catches this. There was turmoil in recent weeks between the child's mother and the grandmother by the name of Billy, Billie, Joe Howell, who had legal custody of him, and an older sibling. Quinton, his mother and his mother's boyfriend, lived with Howell. Let me take a drink to that. If you guys can hear the sound of my voice, if y'all would, you could help us tremendously by just clicking the thumbs up. If you'll take a moment and do that, please help us out. We want more people to see this video. Let me read that again, because that is a shitstorm of information. Excuse my French. There was turmoil between the child's mother and grandmother with her mom. The mom that apparently that this bride don't have her own place to live. Guys, remember we use the terminology babies for benefits to signify when women only have children to collect benefits off the backs of these children, or when custodial parents take advantage of children for that means, okay? So she wasn't able to get a house of her own, even though women who have children have a much easier time of obtaining a house by way of Section 8 than men do. Just simply said, that's what it is. They have an easier time of doing that. So she must be such a crappy person that she wasn't even able to get a place of her own simply because she was a mother. Here's another thing you'd have to wonder. Why doesn't she have custody of her children? I think that has to be indicative of her character. Were the children taken by way of CPS? It's possible, but I don't know that. Did she give custody to the grandmother? Did the grandmother take custody? We don't really know the exact details of that, but I think that just shows a poor excuse of a custodial parent. Can y'all agree to that? Male or female, mother or father, I think that just shows poor character in a person. But not only that, here's what makes it worse for me. If you're in a situation where you have children and you have no place to live except for with your mama, the last thing that you should be doing is worrying about getting penis. Ma'am, it's not that freaking serious. The last woman I checked with told me that penis wasn't that damn serious, because I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what type of gyrations and what type of mindset that penis will make a woman go through, what type of idiocracy a woman will go through for some penis. But how can it be that serious, the fact that you don't have a place to stay, what they say, a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of? You don't have a place of your own, even though you could easily get it because you'd be a custodial parent. But you don't have custody of your kid. Not only how do you have a boyfriend, ma'am, and I hope she's watching this, and yes, I am intending to be disrespectful. Yes. You have a boyfriend while not having custody of your children, which shows you have horrible priorities. But he's such a POS himself that he also lives with yo mama. Damn. How do you have two grown-ass people having sex, but neither one of these son of a bitches have a place to live? Did I say too much? Did I say too much, y'all? Am I going too far off the rails? I think that this is what most people tune in to hear. You can go look up the news article yourself, and you don't have to have my commentary at all. Last time I checked, this is not a news station. The majority of the people that listen to my channel, I think, are people that really want to hear what my real opinion is. To me, that's already like 2 or 3 strikes against, no, that's 3 strikes against the mom. So no, I'm not going to believe that she's a good person at all. You don't have your own place to live. You got multiple kids that you don't have custody of, and you're out having sex with a man. I'm sure you don't have a boyfriend without having sex. So I'm going to assume that those 2 things go together. Okay, now let's keep going. Simon called police on September the 7th following an argument with her mother over laundry, in which she said that Howell had shoved her against the wall, according to a police report. Nobody was charged, and an officer found no injuries other than Simmons' reddened elbow. The following day, Quinton's grandmother filed papers in Chatham County Magistrate Court to have Simon and her boyfriend evicted from her home. So she was probably doing her a favor. Here's the problem when you do grown-ass people a favor. When you're ready for them to go, when they're just showing you their natural rear end and have no respect for you, you can't just tell them to get out. You can't just lock them out. You actually have to go and legally evict them. I don't know if a lot of you guys knew that. You might as well have them on a lease, because it's essentially the same thing. You can't just kick them out, change the locks, and prevent them from entering the house if they've lived there after a certain amount of time, and especially if they're receiving mail at that address. So she had to go down there and go file court paperwork to get them evicted. Just want them to move out as quickly as possible. They've damaged my property, and at this point, no one is living in peace, the September 8th court document read. A few weeks later, on September 28th, a Superior Court judge ordered Leilani Simmons to pay $150 a month in child support. Want y'all to keep in mind, there's a missing child. There's a missing child after child support was enforced on her. You guys notice how many situations, how many misused, abused children and dead children end up behind child support? And we understand how dangerously stupid this situation is. So your reaction, based on what we're reading here, is that you're put on financial responsibility, even though you can't financially take care of yourself, to take care of this child. Then the child ends up missing. Don't y'all find that kind of ironic? And she's named as the only suspect. $150 a month to take care of your own kid. Quinton's mother reported him missing a week later. FBI agent Will Clark, who supervises the Bureau's office in Savannah, said agents were assisting local police in their search for Quinton. Within a few hours of him being reported missing, Clark said the FBI sent a team that specializes in child abductions to help. Hadley said his officers and the FBI had conducted an exhaustive search. He vowed that they won't stop. Sadly, we have not found Quinton, Hadley said, but our search and investigation will continue, and it will continue with every available resource that we have. Curious if you guys would like to see a video of the biological mother arguing with the babysitter. Would y'all like to see that? Because I have it on deck. If y'all want to see it, let me know. Let's get it. Fair use. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And again, if you guys are watching, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. We want to have at least one thumb up for everybody watching. That'll help share the stream and let more people know that we're live talking about the story, okay? Now, somebody in the chat asked how old the mom is. People in the chat are saying that the mom is 22. I don't have that as a fact to verify. But if you say she's 22 years old, I'm going to believe she's 22. But she don't look like she's 22 at all. But if y'all want to see that argument, I got it coming up. So stand by.
Learning more about how this morning played out with this family and the babysitter who was originally supposed to be at this home this morning. News 3 Brian Gallagher also here with me at this scene tonight with those details.
Thank you, Brett. Earlier tonight, I talked with the toddler's babysitter. She is sharing her concerns tonight. It's an interview you will only see on WSAV News 3.
I am been keeping Quinton and Zane for 6 months. I kept them yesterday, and they went home last night.
Diana McCarta says she babysits little Quinton and his siblings and was supposed to watch them this morning. She says she was confused as to why plans would change so suddenly.
I got a text this morning saying that they would not be here. I would not be babysitting them at 5:29, which was kind of odd because I have them even when she doesn't work.
30 minutes later, 6 a.m. was the last reported sighting of Quinton, according to police. Diana says other family members asked her where Quinton might be.
And then I get a text at 9 o'clock saying, have I seen Quinton? I
hope y'all caught that. One of the things that she said was she said it was unusual because she would even keep this woman's kids even when she was not working. So to me, my interpretation is she was probably using that time to have, what, free time with her boyfriend, I guess? That was probably the time she spent with her little alleged boyfriend.
Immediately go to their house. I try to help them look. They didn't want that. So I've just been waiting around like everybody else.
Diana and other neighbors are shocked by the news and wonder what could have happened to little Quinton.
My heart is broken. I'm not his mother, I'm not his family, but I love him very much. And I just don't know what could happen. The police did a really good job of looking, and where does a 1-year-old go? They've covered a lot of ground.
Now at 5, the toddler death and the prime suspect. Chatham County Police say Quinton Simon's mother is the only suspect in this case. We turn now to our Andy Cole live from CCPD headquarters.
And Andy, police still haven't found Quinton's body.
Good afternoon, Brooke and Riley. That's exactly right. Police have named 22-year-old Leilani Simon as the prime suspect. That's all as the search continues. Now, the chief said no charges have been filed and no arrests have been made. Now, we pressed police on what evidence they have proving that Leilani did kill her 20-month-old son, but police declined to answer. I want you to take a listen to this exchange I had with Chief Jeff Hadley today. Do you know where Leilani's other 2 children are?
I can't answer that question.
Do you know where Leilani is?
I don't know where she is currently today.
Chief Hadley says he believes Leilani is not a flight risk. Again, she hasn't been charged nor arrested.
Here's what I found weird about what he said, and I definitely caught that, and I'm glad that the interviewer caught that. Why are they so certain that a woman that they're naming in public as the primary sole suspect, why would she not be a flight risk? Could somebody in the chat please let me know if y'all caught that, like I caught that? Did y'all catch that? Let me make sure I got this right. People are accusing you of murdering your child, getting rid of your child, and even a motive behind being mad about it because you've been put on child support. Why would a person not be a flight risk, especially when it's a child that came from her womb and she's being accused? Huh? No, we don't think she's a flight risk. Wow. So what type of person would you consider a flight risk? So somebody would have to fit the profile of what? A Jeffrey Dahmer? Huh? How many of you guys watch that? What is that, on Netflix? So they have to fit this. We have to find 10, 15 people dead and missing limbs and body parts being chewed up and ate and cooked before you consider somebody to be a flight risk. Like, what does it take? What does a flight risk take? Grown people kill grown people all the time, and they're considered to be a flight risk. But how is it not a flight risk? And I wish that police officer would answer that question for me. Maybe his ass got some free time and he can email me and tell me, why wouldn't a person that's accused of murdering their child, and these are just your words, you don't feel in your heart, you don't feel like she's a flight risk? Keep in mind, she's already been accused of causing turmoil in the house. She got mad about the child support, and now the child is missing. Why would she not be a flight risk? Her life is screwed up. Why would she not be a flight risk? She seems to be unstable. Why would she not be a flight risk? Am I making sense? Maybe these glasses are a little too tight on my head. Maybe it's clogging up my brain. Maybe I'm not seeing this properly. What would qualify? Like, what do you have to do? Oh, you have to be what? Part of a drug cartel? Is that what it is? Then you're a flight risk then? Huh? Maybe selling, maybe you got a little too much legal marijuana. Maybe now that makes you a flight risk, right? I don't know, man. Let me show you guys this confrontational video. And I want y'all to tell me, and I want y'all to brace yourselves, and I know YouTube make it seem like I don't be warning y'all about what y'all about to watch, but you're going to watch some dysfunction, you're going to watch some cussing and fussing and hollering and screaming, and maybe a little pushing and shoving. It's not going to be a full-out fight, but I'm going to warn you, you've been warned fairly. That is your disclaimer before you watch this video. So if you need to leave, you can leave. But I want y'all to watch this interaction with this alleged 22-year-old. Watch this.
Go ahead. Don't put nothing in your yard. Go ahead. This is my baby, not yours. That's your right, but I text you. Baby. I text you and I told you what was going on. I was going to announce my phone. You need to go get it.
Y'all need to get off the property.
I text you. I got your text. Over and over. I got the text. Over and over I asked you. I got the text. So you want to blame me? I don't care about your text. You think I'm going to hit you at me? Do you think I would do that? Yeah. Really? Because you. I'm what?
No one likes
I'm
y'all.
what? I'm what? No, I don't blame nobody. I should not have been out of town. You did. You shouldn't have. No, I was trying to provide. I did. I was trying to provide. I told you. I was trying to provide. I even provided for you. You didn't. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I didn't pay for your family, your entire family. I didn't ask you. Your entire family. Keep recording.
Don't take my phone.
Keep recording.
Don't take my phone.
Good, you were wrong. You were wrong. I begged you to help. I begged you to help. Put that on social media. I begged you to help. Oh yeah, and I begged you to help. I said, hey Michelle, please get the kids. You're a liar. Take them out.
Okay, so people in the chat are saying, and I thought, I was like, she's not 22. Okay, so y'all are saying that's the grandma of the 22-year-old and the babysitter. Why would they be arguing like this? Okay, so let's just say this is not the biological mom. So this is the grandma. But like somebody said, the organic apple doesn't too far from the tree, right? I'm just talking about the character. I'm just talking about the character of this woman. So y'all are saying this is the grandma. This makes it even, because I was like, she ain't no damn 22. I'm looking at her in the face. Right there. I'm sorry. I know some people done had a hard life, but that ain't the face of a 22-year-old at all. So y'all are saying that's the grandma and babysitter. Why would they be going through this? If this is how the mom can behave, then I can imagine what the daughter behaves like.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I didn't pay for your family, your entire family. I didn't ask you. Your entire family. Keep recording.
Don't take my phone.
Keep recording.
Don't take my phone.
Good, you were wrong. You were wrong. I begged you to help. I begged you to help. Put that on social media. I begged you to help.
Oh, yeah, and
I begged you to help.
Text you.
I said, hey, Michelle, please get the kids.
No, you're a liar.
Take them. I'll give you 300 a week.
Well, I'm about to put it
I'm
all
a liar.
I'm about to put
I'm a liar.
I'm about to put it all over.
Good. Good,
All
because
over.
you're awful to say you're going to put a memorial. My baby's not dead.
You are a liar.
My baby's not
You're a
dead.
liar.
My baby's not
You are
dead.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
No, you are.
You are.
My baby's not dead. I thought you
I
was a
didn't
woman of
say
God.
that.
I thought you were a woman of God.
I am.
You got Quinton? Do you have Quinton?
I don't have Quinton. You're the one
Maybe
that
you
texted
do.
me.
Maybe you do. You got him.
Okay.
You got him.
Well, I'm about to call the police.
You're the only one that can go in my house.
So is she trying to accuse the babysitter of doing something to the kid? That doesn't even make any sense. I wonder who those other two people are in the street. Is that the biological mom and boyfriend in the street? And grandma's boyfriend? I don't know. This is a cotton picking hood Billy snowbilly miss. This is a hot heaping mess.
Don't put nothing in your yard.
Go ahead.
This is my baby, not yours.
That's your.
I don't know what in the trailer park issue is going on here.
I text you and I told you what was going on.
Oh, so now it's my fault. You need to go get him.
Y'all need to get off the property.
I text you. I got your text.
Over and over
I got
again.
the text.
Over and over I asked
I got
you.
the
So
text.
you want to blame me? I don't care about
Go
your
ahead.
text. You
Go
think I'm going to
ahead.
hit you at me? Who do you think I would do that?
Yeah.
The property.
Really?
Because you.
I'm what?
No one likes
I'm
y'all.
what?
You blamed
I'm
me.
what? No, I don't blame
Yeah, you
anybody.
did.
I should
You
not have
did.
been out of
Yeah,
town.
you did. You shouldn't have.
No, I'm
better
better. I was trying to provide.
I did.
I was trying to provide.
I told you.
I was trying to provide. I even
told you.
provided for you, you didn't. Yeah, I did.
Provide me.
Yeah, I did. I didn't pay for your family, your entire family.
I didn't ask you. I got
Your
text.
entire
I told
family.
you
Keep
not
recording.
to.
Don't take my
got
phone.
Keep recording.
Don't
Good.
take my phone.
Good,
Yeah,
you were
okay,
wrong.
all this on social
You were wrong. I
media.
begged you to help. I begged you to help. Put that on social media. I begged you to help.
Oh, yeah, and I got
begged you to help.
text you.
I said, hey, Michelle, please get the
Yeah,
kids.
you're a liar.
Take them. I'll give you
Oh,
300
you're a
a
liar.
week.
Well, I'm about to put it all
I'm a
over.
liar.
I'm about to put.
I'm a liar.
I'm about to put it all over.
Good. Good,
All
because
over.
you're awful to say you're going to put a
liar.
memorial. My baby's
You're a
not
liar.
dead.
You are a liar.
My baby's
You
not
are a
dead.
liar.
My baby's not
You are
dead.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
No, you are.
You are.
My baby's not dead. I thought you
I
was a
didn't
woman of
say
God.
that.
I thought you were a woman of God.
I am.
You got Quinton? Do you?
Somebody in the chat said the grandma is a real winner. She already has a son in prison for life for murder. Wow. Now, I don't know that to be a fact. I know somebody in the chat typed that in there. I'm just reading what you wrote. I don't know if that's true or not. Wow. If that's true, then it kind of makes you question the DNA, especially after you see the bad behavior of the grandmother. See what I'm saying? When I say the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
I don't have Quinton. You're the
Maybe
one
you
that
do.
texted me.
Maybe you do. You got him.
Okay.
You got him.
Well, I'm about to call the police.
You're the only one that can go in my house and take him. Your kids go in my house and take him all the time.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
We did not go in her house.
Oh, it's gonna be. Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah, baby, we need to look at some green cars.
Yeah, we did.
Damn, so they just drive on the grass like that? They just pull up.
We did.
She's gonna put a memorial up in her yard. Quentin's not dead.
I didn't put a memorial.
He's not dead.
No one said he was.
Yo, they walked. They didn't even drive over there. They walked all the way down there. Somebody said grandma has a lengthy background. Really? Huh. How do y'all know all of this? Because I know they didn't name the grandma as a suspect, so I wasn't really trying to look into, you know, her background or anything like that. So I have to just take y'all word for it. I don't know that though. Damn.
Yeah, Mike and Dawn, that's right. Of course, this started as a scramble to find a missing toddler. It's since turned into an extensive investigation.
Y'all do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, please.
And search. Here's how we got to this point.
Quinton's mom reported him missing around 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, October 5th from their home on Buckhalter Road. She told police her boyfriend was the last person to see him around 6 that morning. They say he was wearing a light blue Sesame Street shirt and black pants. It sparked an extensive search involving multiple agencies. On Thursday, Chatham County Police Chief Jeff Hadley confirmed police had obtained a search warrant for Quinton's grandmother's home where the family was living. That's when grandmother Billy Howell told WTOC she recently filed to evict Quinton's mom and the boyfriend, and that Quinton's mom called off his babysitter the morning he went missing. Howell, who was out of town at the time for work, has custody of Quinton and his older sibling.
My mind has thought the worst, and it's prayed for the best, and it's
living. That's when grandmother Billy Howell told WTOC she recently filed to evict Quinton's mom and the boyfriend. And that
here's the part I want y'all to catch. The irony. The coincidence that the same day that the child went missing was the same day that she canceled the babysitter. That sounds methodical. The last thing you'd be thinking if your child is missing to be calling a freaking babysitter. Am I right or am I wrong? Shouldn't that be the last thing on your mind? Don't y'all think that's a little bit ironic? Coincidental?
called off his babysitter the morning he went missing. Howell, who was out of town at the time for work, has custody of Quinton and his older sibling, Quinton's mom and the boyfriend, and that Quinton's mom called off his babysitter the morning he went missing. Grandmother Billy Howell told WTOC she recently filed to evict Quinton's mom and the boyfriend, and that Quinton's mom called off his babysitter the morning he went missing. Howell, who was out of town at the time for work, has custody of Quinton and his older sibling.
My mind has thought the worst, and it's prayed for the best, and it's, you know, I couldn't imagine that she would hurt one of her kids, but I can't say the thought hasn't went through my mind 100,000 times.
On Friday, Chatham County Police released a tip hotline just for Quinton's case. The search continued. Chief Hadley said they did not suspect foul play. Fast forward to Monday, police searched the home again and drained the family's backyard pool. We also learned more than 40 FBI agents are assisting in this search. And on Tuesday, the department announced they had seized evidence they believed would help them move the case forward, and that a criminal investigation is on the table. WTOC Investigates also obtained records that shed light on a tense, divided home leading up to Quinton's disappearance. That included a domestic dispute last month and a court order for Quinton's mother to start paying his grandmother child support. That order came down exactly 1 week before she reported Quinton missing.
Here's what's crazy about that. How do you charge somebody child support that's still living under your roof? Maybe some of you guys can explain that to me, but that I totally didn't get from the moment I read it. How do you charge somebody that lives in your home? Could you imagine if a woman and a man have a child, they live in the house together, they decide, I don't like you, I don't like, they don't like each other, and she goes down and files child support on the man that's still living in the house with her? You usually do that when you separate households, right? I don't understand. That just doesn't make sense. None of this makes any sense. All these people sound dumb.
And of course, Mike and Dawn, that's
Leilani Simon is named the prime suspect in this case. So why haven't police made an arrest? Our Brooke Butler spoke to a legal analyst. She joins us live now from our newsroom. And Brooke, he gave you some insight as to why.
Yeah, Riley. He said there's a good chance police are being very strategic in the way they're going about handling this case.
The fact that she's not been arrested, at least not yet, tells me that they are working very carefully to cross their T's and dot all of their I's.
Police have yet to arrest Leilani Simon in the disappearance of her 20-month-old son, despite naming her the prime suspect. Legal analyst Philip Holloway says the reason she's free may have to do with the fact police haven't found her son's body yet.
They need to find the remains if they can, because even though it's not required to have a body to prosecute a murder under Georgia law, it is always better if they can identify a cause and manner of death.
He says police may also just be making sure their case is rock solid before moving forward with an arrest.
If they make mistakes now, that could actually jeopardize the long-term success of a prosecution where they have to prove somebody's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
And we should note, Chief Adley told reporters Thursday they don't believe Simon is a flight risk. Holloway says that means she may not have the means to travel, or it could mean investigators have taken steps to ensure she won't go anywhere.
It's possible that they have maybe taken passports and things that would prevent someone's ability to leave. So they've got their reasons for deciding that she's not a flight risk.
At the end of the day, Holloway says, from a legal standpoint, what police are doing now could help prosecutors should this ever go to trial.
They know that a prosecutor is going to have to get into court at some point in the future and prove this case to a jury's satisfaction beyond a reasonable doubt.
And Brooke, how unusual is it that police would name Leilani Simon the prime suspect but not arrest her?
Riley, Holloway says it's definitely not common. He says the tendency nowadays is to instead call someone a person of interest. To say Simon is the prime suspect, it tells him that police must have strong suspicion against her, Riley.
And here's what worries me. Here's what worries me. Strong suspicion, right? Strong suspicion, but guess what also still hangs in the balance? Somebody in the chat said it, thank you. You don't need a passport to flee. What they're saying. Let me just ask y'all. So let me ask my white audience. Let me ask some of you white people a question. So black people, I don't want y'all to answer this. Let me let some white people answer this if you guys are out there. If you're white, then you can answer this question for me. Doesn't this seem, I got to use a big word. I got to use one of my $5 words. Like this is preferential treatment? Because maybe they can relate to her. Maybe they look at this like this, she's a part of their race, and we you know, if this were my kid, I know my kid wouldn't run, you know, like that type of thing. You know, like just like I'm familiar with black folks and their behaviors, which is why I call it out. Then in a situation like that, or they're just saying that they feel more comfortable that she's white and they don't think that she's gonna run off. She doesn't have a license. She's not gonna flee. She doesn't even have a passport. Where's she gonna go? Think she's gonna go to Puerto Rico? I think not. I don't understand how you could even I'd rather you just not, like, police officers should be smarter than that, but they got asked the question and they had to answer it. We don't think she's a flight risk. You're being accused and people believe that you are guilty of a murder of a baby. To me, that's called a perfect storm. That's a recipe for disaster. The other thing that you also have, which is my other part of my question, keep in mind, she had more than just this one kid. There's another kid. Now, what if she turns around and does something to that other kid too? See what I'm saying? That doesn't make you a risk. You're not afraid of her doing something to the other kid? Or you're not afraid of her doing something to her boyfriend? Maybe he's going to snitch on her. Maybe he was an accomplice. What about grandma? You don't think that that grandma tried to evict them? You don't think that her life might be at risk? Huh. Okay. Look, y'all know I generally don't pull the race card at all. I pulled it, twice just this month in 2 different stories, which I think actually were indicative of race-related decisions. The woman who took the child and threw that baby off of the pier in the lake in Michigan. That was race-related, in my opinion. For the police in this situation, not all situations, but this particular situation, to say she's harmless and I don't think she's a flight risk, I think that that's total BS. Like Nick Saban would say. I think that's complete BS. Y'all saying, I thought she had 3 kids. I don't know how many kids she got. She shouldn't have any at all. She's getting evicted from the only place that they listed that she was living. So why would she not be a risk? She's going to have to go somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, but let me know what you guys think about this story. It's not going to have a good ending, and here's why. Because the FBI and police have come out and said that they believe that this child is deceased. I seriously, seriously doubt, and I've never seen a situation where they come out and say that the child they believe is dead without having a body, without having some very, very strong evidence pointing towards that. Okay, so yeah, just like somebody said in the chat, this is going to be a very, very interesting trial. Okay, but make sure you guys tune in. I'm pretty sure we will do an update to this at some point. Like, share, subscribe to the AFC podcast, and I'll give y'all my real opinions about all this stuff. Y'all know I'm always keep it real. All right, hit that thumbs up on the way out. Thank you.